Good morning, students. Welcome to the physics class. Today we are going to see Ampere circuital law. So, what is the use of Ampere circuital law? Ampere circuital law is used to find magnetic field at a point when there is symmetry. So, Ampere circuital law is used to find magnetic field at a point when there is symmetry in the problem. So what is the statement of the law? So Ampere's circuital law states that closed integral B dot dl is equal to mu naught into I. So this is the equational form of Ampere's circuital law. So closed integral B dot dl is equal to mu naught into I. In the statement form, it can be stated as closed integral over a magnetic field is equal to mu naught times the net current enclosed by the closed path. So, we are going to see three applications of Ampere's circuital law. So, Ampere's circuital law states that closed line integral of the magnetic field over a closed curve is equal to mu naught times the net current enclosed by the curve. So, we are going to see three applications of Ampere's circuital law. So, this Ampere's circuital law is more or less equal to the Gauss law in electrostatics. So, first application, we are going to see what is magnetic field produced by a current carrying conductor. So, suppose if you consider a current carrying conductor, let I be the current that passes through the conductor. P is the point where the magnetic field is to be determined. It is at a distance r from the current carrying conductor. So, current carrying conductor is symmetrical about its axis because current carrying conductor is cylindrical in shape. So, now you have to construct an Amperian loop with r as the radius. So, this is the Amperian loop. Let dl be the small element. So, dl be the small element. Now, according to this expression, since all the points on the Amperian loop are at the same distance, magnetic field is uniform all over the Amperian loop. So, this is called as Amperian loop. And the magnetic field at all the points over the Amperian loop will remain the same. So, when you apply this Biot-Savart's law, closed integral B dot dl is equal to mu naught into I. So, B is a constant. So, closed integral dl is equal to mu naught into I. So, when you integrate it, the small element over the Amperian loop, this is equal to the circumference of the Amperian loop. So, substituting this value in this expression, we will have B into 2 pi r is equal to mu naught into I, or B is equal to mu naught I by 2 pi r. So, this is the magnetic field due to this current carrying conductor at the point P by applying Ampere's circuital law. So this expression for magnetic field is same as that of the expression we obtained by Biot-Savart's law. So this is how we can apply Ampere's circuital law to find magnetic field due to a current carrying conductor. The second application of this Ampere's circuital law is to find the magnetic field due to a solenoid. So next we are going to see how to apply Ampere's circuital law to find out what is the magnetic field produced by a solenoid. Solenoid is nothing but when a conductor is wound in the form of a helical coil, then it is called as solenoid. So solenoid is nothing but a conductor which is wound in the form of a helical coil. This is called as solenoid. Now we are going to see what is the magnetic field produced by a solenoid. So when current is allowed to pass through the solenoid, in the region of the solenoid there is magnetic field. So it is observed that when current is allowed to pass through the solenoid, the region inside the solenoid is having uniform magnetic field, and outside the solenoid the magnetic field is negligibly small. So usually when we consider a solenoid, magnetic field is uniform inside the solenoid, but outside the solenoid it is negligibly small. So when you consider a solenoid, depending upon the direction of flow of current, one end of the solenoid will act as a north pole and another end will act as a south pole. So a current carrying solenoid is similar to a Bohr magnet. So since it is acting as a Bohr magnet, magnetic field lines will flow from north pole to south pole outside the solenoid and from south pole to north pole inside the solenoid. So the direction of the magnetic field is obtained by using right hand thumb rule. So the folded fingers gives the direction of the flow of current through the solenoid, and the extended thumb will gives the direction of the magnetic field. So if I hold the solenoid like this, the folded fingers will gives the direction of the flow of current through the solenoid. The extended thumb will gives the direction of the magnetic field. So when the current is flowing in the clockwise direction, near end of the solenoid is the south pole and far end of the solenoid is north pole. Once again, so you are holding the solenoid like this. You are seeing the direction of flow of current through the solenoid. If the current flows in clockwise direction, near end is the south pole and the far end is the north pole. On the other hand, if current flows in anti-clockwise direction, near end is the north pole and the far end is the south pole. So this rule is called as N rule. So N rule is used to find the polarity of the solenoid. So now we are going to calculate what amount of magnetic field is produced by the solenoid by applying Ampere's circuital law. For that, we are going to consider few turns of the solenoid. So I am representing every line represents every turn of the solenoid. So above I am marking as a int multiplication mark. This mark tells that current is flowing outwards perpendicular to the plane of the blackboard. And here the current is flowing inwards perpendicular to the plane of the blackboard. So current is flowing outwards. So when the current comes outwards, here the current will flow inwards. So the into mark represents current is flowing outwards perpendicular to the plane of the blackboard, and the dotted marks represent current flows inwards perpendicular to the plane of the blackboard. So magnetic field is uniform. So uniform magnetic field is represented by parallel magnetic field lines. So inside the solenoid there is uniform magnetic field. So for our simplicity, let us consider this be the north pole and this be the south pole, because a solenoid is acting as a ball magnet when current is flowing through it. So for simplicity I am considering this as the north pole and this end as the south pole. Let capital L be the length of the solenoid. Let there be N turns in the solenoid. Now, for our simplification, I am going to consider an Amperian loop. This Amperian loop is of length dl. So, this Amperian loop is marked as A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D be the, and this Amperian loop is like this. So we are going to apply Biot-Savart's law and find out what is the magnetic field due to this solenoid. So according to Biot-Savart's law, closed integral B dot dl is equal to mu naught into I. When you consider solenoid, magnetic field is uniform. So I can write it as B into closed integral dl is equal to mu naught into I. This closed integral dl can be written as line integral A to B dl plus line integral B to C into dl plus line integral C to D into dl plus line integral A to D into dl, or we can write it as B dot dl. So let it take it as B dot dl. Now, when you consider the line integral B to C and D to A, magnetic field is perpendicular to this dl. So magnetic field and dl are perpendicular. So closed integral B to C B dot dl is equal to closed integral D to A B dot dl is equal to integral B dl cos 90. Since this dl and B are perpendicular to each other, so this will become 0. Secondly, this integration D to D, that is line integral C to D B dot dl is also equal to 0, since B is equal to 0. Magnetic field is 0 outside the solenoid. So we will have only the line integral B dot dl from A to B. So that is equal to B into A to B dl. That is equal to B into, when we do the integration, that will give the length of the solenoid. So BL. So when you substitute in this expression, we will have BL is equal to mu naught into I. What is I? Current enclosed by the coil. Since there are n turns, each turns carries a current of I ampere. This will become BL is equal to mu naught into Ni. So a single turn, in every turn there is a flow of current I. Since we are having n turns, total current enclosed is equal to mu naught Ni. Therefore B is equal to mu naught Ni by L. This N by L represents number of turns. N by L is equal to small n. Small n is the number of turns per unit length. So you will have B is equal to mu naught Ni. So this gives the expression for magnetic field due to a solenoid. If you write this in the vector form, we will have B vector is equal to mu naught into Ni into a unit vector. So this is how we obtain expression for the magnetic field due to a solenoid. So the next application of Ampere's circuit law is to find what is the magnetic field produced by a toroid. So toroid is nothing but when a solenoid, so we are having a solenoid, when this solenoid end is joined together in the form of a circle, then the resultant is called as toroid. So this is called as toroid. So we are going to find out what is magnetic field produced by a toroid. So we are going to differentiate this into three regions. One is region inside the toroid. Second one is region enclosed by the toroid. And the third one is the region outside the toroid. So we are going to find out what is magnetic field inside the toroid. Second, what is magnetic field in the region of the toroid. Third one is what is magnetic field outside the toroid. Set let O be the center. Now I am going to consider a point P here at a distance R1. So with the radius R1, I am going to consider a Amperian loop. So Amperian loop is like this. I am going to find out what is magnetic field at this point P. So when you consider every turn of the toroid, this cross mark represents the current flowing perpendicular to the plane of the blackboard outwards. So in every turn, current is flowing outwards perpendicular to the plane of the blackboard. So it is represented by into mark. This dots represent current is flowing perpendicular to the plane of the blackboard inwards. So I am going to apply for the first region. So magnetic field at P. So when we apply Biot-Savart's law, closed integral B dot dl is equal to mu naught into I enclosed. Current enclosed by the Amperian loop. So this is the Amperian loop. So you will have closed integral dl is equal to 2 pi R1. So the left hand side of this expression will become B into 2 pi R1 is equal to mu naught into 0, because current enclosed by the Amperian loop is 0. Only current is flowing outside the Amperian loop. So this right hand side will become 0. So B into 2 pi R1 is equal to 0. This equation will be true only B is equal to 0. So either B has to be 0 or 2 pi R1 has to be 0. 2 pi R1 will not be 0. So definitely it says that B must be 0. So magnetic field inside the toroid is 0. Next we are going to consider point Q. This point Q is at a distance R3 from the center. Now with R3 as radius, you construct an Amperian loop. So I am considering an Amperian loop of radius R3. So I am going to apply Ampere's circuital law. So magnetic field at Q by applying Ampere's circuital law. So closed integral B dot dl is equal to mu naught into I enclosed. Again, closed integral dl is equal to 2 pi R3. But when you consider what is the current enclosed, net current enclosed by the Amperian curve, when you see for every turn the current which is flowing outside perpendicular to the plane of the blackboard is cancelled by the current flowing inwards perpendicular to the plane of the blackboard. So the outflowing current is cancelled by the inflowing current. So both the currents are enclosed by the Amperian curve. So here we will have I enclosed is equal to 0. Therefore this expression will become B into 2 pi R3 is equal to 0. So this definitely says that 2 pi R3 is not equal to 0. Therefore magnetic field outside the toroid is equal to 0. Next we are going to consider a point R. This point R is at a distance R2 from the center. So magnetic, we are going to find out what is magnetic. So with R2 as radius, you construct an Amperian loop. So when you construct an Amperian loop, so B H R. So when we apply Amperian loop, Ampere's circuital law, closed integral B dot dl is equal to mu naught into I enclosed. So as per earlier case, closed integral dl is equal to 2 pi R2. But current enclosed is equal to, so if you consider this toroid is made up of n number of turns. See this current, the current flowing outwards perpendicular to the plane of the blackboard is outside the Amperian loop. Only the current flowing inwards perpendicular to the plane of the blackboard is inside the Amperian loop. So you will have Ni. So substituting these two values here, you will have B into 2 pi R2 is equal to mu naught into Ni, or D is equal to mu naught Ni by 2 pi R2. What does this 2 pi R2 represent? Circumference. So N by 2 pi R2 gives number of turns per unit length. So substituting this, we will have B is equal to mu naught Ni. This is the magnetic field inside the toroid. This is how we can apply Ampere's circuit law to find out magnetic field due to a current carrying conductor, magnetic field due to a solenoid, and magnetic field due to a toroid. Next we are going to see what is the force experienced by a charge moving in a magnetic field.